we'll get started. I think we'll begin with a construction line. Big surprise there, right? There you go. And we'll do the angled line next. So the angle is 60 degrees, going off from vertical, uh, heading off toward the left there. So what would that angle be? If you were going to come down 60 degrees more, so this one, of course, vertical is 90. So if you're going to come down another 60, that angle would be 150. Of course, you could also go from horizontal and go in the negative direction. But we'll type in XL, enter. And type in 150. Put that guy in. There it is, 150-degree angle. And so we should be able to measure from this vertical line to that line and get a 60-degree angle. That is how it's dimensioned. So we'll see about that in a little bit. As you know, I can't check these lines because you can't throw a dimension on construction lines. Weird little glitch with AutoCAD. Anyway, we can start doing some offsets now. So the main thickness offset is going to be a 1/2 inch. So everything on here is a 1/2 inch thick. So I can get to it. O, enter, 0.5, enter, and just start clicking. So I'm going to click toward the left, and I'm going to click down. All right. I'm going to click one more. I'm going to do another offset. So I've got my first, I don't know what you want to call that, angled piece, the angled face. I got my first angled face here, and I need to do it again. And the gap between the two is 9/16 of an inch. So I'm going to offset O, enter, 9/16. The bottom line, down. And then it's a 1/2 inch from there. Okay. So that is that's kind of the basic outline here of our object. Let's work on the you know what? Let's trim some of this away to make it less confusing here. So I'm going to go to TR, enter, and remember if you hit T again, T, enter, you can select a trimming edge. So I'm going to select, this is my trimming edge, enter, and then I'm just going to click all these lines away from it. All right. I probably should have left this one. That's an easy fix. Just drag that back. And then this construction line, I only need here. So I'm going to trim him to that. So TR, enter, and get rid of him there, and then delete that. Oops. So there you go. That might make things a little less confusing. Now I'm going to offset this horizontal line downward, our vertical dimensions. And we are given 3/4 to the first hole, and then from there, 1.5 to the next. So we'll use those offsets. So O, enter, 0.75, enter. And then the next one we're given is 1.5, so 1.5, enter. And to get our final length on this side, we need the radius of the outer curve, and those radiuses are 3/4 of an inch, so they're all the same. So the offset is 0.75. There it is. So that's the final length of this guy. Okay, so that takes care of the vertical piece right there. And I could just for fun, just kind of get started on this. I could just do a rectangle over that. That's the vertical piece, just to give you an idea of what's going on. But now we need to do the angled pieces. And to get their distances, it's measured from this upper right-hand corner. So we need to get a perpendicular line going through that we can offset, right? So going back to my construction layer, I'm going to make a construction line, XL, enter, A, enter. And I need to make a perpendicular line to this guy, all right? So that guy was at 150. So if I'm going perpendicular to that, going backward, 150 minus 90 is 60. No big surprise. So the angle is 60, and I'll click it right there. All right, so now I've made two angled construction lines. These ones heading off toward the left were at 150, and this guy heading off to the right, perpendicular to them, is just 60. So now I'm going to offset this guy the distances we are given, and it is not easy to read, not easy to read at all on that handout I gave you. Not easy at all, but it's 1.5 to the center of that upper hole. I guess the half kind of got wiped out, but it is. So I'm going to offset this line 1.5 inches to that upper hole. So here we go. O, enter 1.5, and bam, there it is. So that's the center line of the hole going through those. And then, of course, we have the radius, which is 3/4. So you can offset that guy as well, 0.75. And there's that. So now you have the final length. So we'll outline those guys. You have the object lines. This is kind of interesting how this intersection comes extremely close, this line and that line, which is not intended. If I zoom in on that, you'll see what I'm saying. Let me do that. Be careful about this. This intersection point that my crosshairs are on is not what you want. You want it to start from here. So be sure that you start your line from there and then go up to the end here. Whoa, how far did I go? There you go, from there to there and back. All right, and I'll zoom out. And this little piece that I put in here, which was just my initial kind of placeholder, should be trimmed off right away. Get rid of those two little lines there. And this guy also, bam. So we have the basic outline of this piece now. We can start adding some details. We have some fillets to add, and the holes for sure. Do that. So let's let's take care of the fillets first. So the fillets are going to be 1/8 of an inch, 0.125, which is kind of our standard. So you could write a note of that if you wanted right now. I think I'll do that just so I don't forget to do that. Go to my dimension layer and write a note, maybe over here. All caps, all fillets and rounds R equals 0.125, not R minus, sorry, equals, unless noted otherwise. Select all that and make sure it is 0.125 height. There you go. And I might stretch that out a little bit so it fits better. Come on. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So knowing that, we'll come in here and we'll fillet these corners on the inside. Let's do that. F, enter, R, enter, 0.125. Get these guys here and here, there and there, there and there. Okay, so those are the fillets in question, these three. Next thing to do is to note the holes. So these are center lines right here. All three of these that we have are center lines. So we need to offset to their outer edges. All three of these holes are the same diameter. They are 5/8, which means their radius is 5/16. So we can just get on that right now. We can go O, enter, 5/16, and take each one of these center lines and offset in both directions. And same up here. So those are all 5/16 holes. And we can then go to our hidden layer and mark them. There is another hidden line that needs to be marked. And you can't see it on this face, this side that we're working on. But on the back side, you would be able to see this edge of this piece going all the way up. So these angled faces don't go all the way across. So if you were to flip this around and look at it from the other way, these angled faces, these like fingers, wouldn't be touching that edge. So there is a full-on edge on the other side that goes all the way to the top. There it is, that entire edge. Now, of course, we only have the hidden line parts where there aren't object lines. So you would trim that away. You wouldn't have it down here on the bottom. But hopefully you understand what I'm saying, that there is an edge going all the way across on the other side of this, and we need to mark it. So now I can get rid of whatever portion isn't. There we go, trim that away, and then just delete any dangling pieces there. So there you go, the hidden line showing the edge on the other side. I'm going to put that construction lines back. So that's pretty good. If we want to mark the center lines, we could do that now. I like to do that at the end when I'm doing the dimensions because it makes so many construction lines to get all the offsets correct, you know. But if you wanted to just change the line type, that might make it simple. So I could grab on these three and just change them to center just to show you um, what we're talking about here. Could bump that to LTS is a 0.5. Let me try a 0.4, see what that does. So 0.45. Okay,